I'm giving a few more seconds, allowing other people to answer. Okay, I'm getting answers on YouTube also. Let's see where we go. I'm seeing one alphabet C. Also in YouTube, I'm seeing alphabet C. Okay, anonymous. Everyone goes to C. Wow. That makes a debate very easy, isn't it? One letter C. Okay, then let's start with the question understanding. Then we go for the answer. As we ask all the time, the same point. What is the problem here in this question? What is the line? What is the word mentions the problem?
The
What is
end user were trained with the new system, but they rejected.
rejected? Aha. Okay. Okay. Rejected is a keyword, isn't it? When they say rejected, the question is it a critical problem or it's a daily situation in a project?
It is a critical problem.
Critical problem. Okay. First, the project itself a critical project. When I say critical project, can I say it's a very important? There is a high focus from the customer for this project. Could be there.
Yes, sir.
When we say critical, it's a high focus project. Yeah, high focus project. If a customer is rejecting, is it a situation to be considered at all level?
Yes.
Yeah, isn't it? It's a pretty critical, right? Now, question to you: is this situation past, present, or future? Is it a happened, happening, or will happen?
It's happened only. It means it has been done.
Okay, past. Done. Amit says past. Sheetal says past. What makes us to decide it's a past? Where you see this terminology?
Has failed.
Has failed. Okay. Has failed. Which means we are already aware of outcome. Can we say like that? We are outcome. Okay. Outcome is known that it is a failure. Even though all end users were trained, again it's past, isn't it? Trained on the new services. They rejected the change and continued using original process. Is this a present?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You want to give a new ERP package. Let's imagine like that. You all know what is ERP. What is ERP? Have you heard about ERP package in your company? ERP?
Enterprise Resource Planning.
Enterprise resource. Are we using it in every company? At least we have one ERP package running behind us, which makes us to do many basic day-to-day jobs, right? Now, let's imagine you want to give a ERP package and it's very important for them. And the project was happening and it failed. They announced it's failed. And they went back to the old one, which means could be an Excel sheet or basic stuff. Which of the following actions should the team take? Now, how to recover? Or what should have been done? This question is a bit tricky. They didn't give clearly, do they need to fix the problem? Or are they going to do something in the future? The question is not very clear. The last sentence is not very clear. Which of the following actions should the team take? Okay. Now, problem is there is a rejection. I think you rightly pointed out. Now, who this question is pointing to? Is it any individual? Is it a project itself? Who is the question pointing to? Who is being targeted?
Team, project
Project team. Okay, project team has been targeted. Okay, nice. All right, now let's go to the answers here. I saw everyone went to the answer C. Nice to know this. But what made you to reject other answers? So help me with the rejections. Why A was rejected? Maybe somewhere in the mute mode. If you're speaking, go ahead. Why A was rejected?
End users, sorry.
Okay, let me go first.
Hmm.
The end user already used the new service and they rejected it. So it's no use to escalate to the functional manager.
Escalating now doesn't make sense. Lack of cooperation to the end user's functional manager. So which means they already were in the training, they tried it. Okay. All right. Then why B got rejected?
So they're saying that take a note of risk associated with the new implementation.
Ah.
So it is already registered. It might be means we should take a note that why it is failed.
Hmm.
And but we what is the point of going with the means
Hmm.
we should take a note, but this is I would say not exactly what we needed right now.
Hmm. 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 Because risk is a
Future.
Future.
future event, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, if in case they know that this a failure is going to happen, that should have been noted down in the risk register already, and some action plan should have been written down. Is it correct?
Yes.
But there is no evidence given for that here. So now note that at present, if you're noting the risk is a question mark, will I able to solve it? It's already we crossed it. Already it's a failed. They went back already. So you mean that this action could have been done earlier, not now.
Right.
Okay. So by the tense of the question, we'll strike it out. Okay, I'll park C because many went with the C. I'll come back again here. D. Why D was rejected?
So without understanding exact what has happened, so just executing the again repackaging will not help anything. Probably again it might repeat. So
Okay. The original plan. There is no point without understanding going for the plan again, redoing the plan. Okay. All right. So I listened to people here and then I marked A, B, and D. Even in the YouTube, I'm seeing the same answers. Now let us see with the answer C. Why C looks a good answer? Can one of you justify why C is a good answer?
I mean,
because
if somebody is rejecting, then we should get the justification that what is the issue with them, why they are rejecting. Maybe they have the particular some concerns which we missed during the implementation of that in system. Then we should understand that what are the concerns and how can we can implement their concerns.
So yeah,
it's also important that we are engaging them. So it will help us to understand this problem better.
Okay.
lesson learned could be taken. Right.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, lessons learned. Yeah, we note it down. But here it's engaging, right? Engaging could be even more than listening. You, in fact, you can even do a shadowing with them on the day-to-day job, what's happening. Is it possible? I can even have some of my resources work in their company with their current format, what they are following to see what's the problem, why it is not going well. So at least you're getting detailed deep inside. I think that's what everyone understanding here. In this set of answers, what we are trying seeing here is how can I get much closer with my customer and see why it was rejected, and I don't want that rejection happening in future. Is it the intention of the answer? Okay. If that's the intention of the answer, I believe we got it correct. Okay, then let's see the right answer. Ooh, man. How come, man? You all got the right answer? Huh? Critical thinking. Critical thinking is working well. So let's see the answer, what it says. This team needs to understand the customer needs. I think that's what the answer C says. Okay, and desires better. Their cooperation and buy-in to this critical project are the most important success factor. Their buy-in is important because here the buy-in was not there. They rejected it, right? Even though training was given, they rejected it. The risk of a stakeholder rejection should already have been noted. I think, Amit, that's what you're mentioning. Should have been done earlier, not now. It's too late. But now, even now, when I'm listening to my stakeholders, do you think I can note down some risk registered? Can I do that now? Even now? After listening or while listening or while engaging, I can note down these all the risk we are anticipating could happen. Yeah. And if this is properly handled, chances are this kind of a failure can go down. I'm not saying it will be zero, but you can try, isn't it? So now the point here is this agile project or a non-agile project? What is your thought? What is it? Is it agile or non-agile?
Non-agile project.
Did I hear that agile?
No, it's a non-agile project.
Non-agile. But how do you know it's non-agile where it is mentioned?
So basically, if it would have been an
Ah, ah,
agile model, then there would have been meetings with the stakeholders continuously. That is the release planning and other meetings. So
okay.
in that meetings, we give value delivery like in
There you go.
small parts. So that time, the customer, they might have questioned us back, or they might have rejected the smallest delivery also if it was not as per their requirement. As it
Amazing.
was a single delivery, we couldn't
Mm-hmm.
get
Mm-hmm.
the
All right.
customers buying. So maybe we like, if I suppose in this question, as it was a predictive model and the
Mm-hmm.
scope was not well defined,
Mm-hmm.
there are high chances of getting
Failure.
like the product
Okay.
getting rejected.
Failure. Okay. I appreciate that viewpoint. That's a good viewpoint, Sai Priya. Now, what I hear from you is if they would have gone in an incremental approach, I think that's what you want to mean.
Yes.
In an incremental approach, let's say one increment, they could have already given a feedback. What if what you see in the question is one increment? Is it possible? A critical project improvement rejected the change. Could be this is the only one increment you gave. Still, it is possible. And that is what the answer here is engaging. But I really appreciate the viewpoint of what you said. In Agile, chances are you may have the customer very close with you. I believe that's what you want to say.
Yes.
Where chances are you may listen to them very well. Whereas in a plan-driven project, chances are customers are a little away after giving the requirement. That's a good view. I appreciate that. But in this question, they didn't mention anything here. Sometimes a question comes so flat like this, it's so hard to judge is it agile or non-agile. But I like the point what Sai Priya was pointing out. It could be more when an incremental approach, we would have met them frequently. Okay, continuing with her point, let me share some more information for this question. This picture, take a look of it. What this picture is representing, what it is trying to say.
The stakeholder engagement matrix. It's a plan where we identify stakeholders. What is the current behavior of that stakeholder?
Okay.
What is the impact of the stakeholder to your project?
Okay. Okay. Thanks for the input. Question to people here, why we have to mark a stakeholder by this category? Why should we mark it? The reason for marking someone is unaware. Someone is resistant. Why we are doing it?
Because they can
It will have
directly or indirectly, affect the project, because stakeholders matters, right? So
So it is something understanding the engagement level of them, engagement level needed in the project. Now, you look at like the picture. This picture is called a Stakeholder Engagement Assessment Matrix, SCAM, which is an engagement assessment matrix. Now, question to you, who will assess this? Who will do in a project?
Project manager.
Project manager along with the team, they can do
Yeah.
this. Okay. We are not going to get into whether it is an agile or non-agile. But in a project, it is always a good practice to assess the engagement level. If it is an agile, every short cycle we have to assess it. When it's a non-agile, for a long term, we have to assess it. What we are assessing here? We are assessing, let us say there is a John here, okay? There is a Julie here, okay? There is a Ramesh here. Now, we have to know, or we may know who the stakeholder is, but we may not know in the project what is their current level. Maybe John is current neutral, but John stays in a position as a vendor. As a vendor, at this stage, I'm expecting a vendor should not be neutral. Neutral means keeping, not responding anything on this. But I may expect him to be supportive person, desired level. Or Ramesh is a quality manager in the team or a project. Vendor is outside of my company. Ramesh is inside my company, quality manager. The quality manager currently unaware of the project things because Ramesh not only working for my project, he works with more than 2 or 3 projects. And currently he is unaware. When somebody is unaware, when in the Q4 of 2024, Q4 stands for quarter 4. In the quarter 4 2024, I'm expecting my product should go for a release. Now I'm standing in the month of July. July comes in Q4 or Q3?
Q3.
Q3. So if my project has to go to Q4 beginning or middle to release, is it a good practice that I should make Ramesh not unaware, rather bring them supportive or leading or at least neutral? Is it a good practice? Should I do that? If I educate this person to be supportive or maybe leading or neutral, maybe I keep it again supportive here, chances are my project can get better. Now, Shri, this is a scale which I have to do every day. It's not an everyday action, but this is part of your stakeholder management. If you open the book of Rita Levin or a PMBOK book, you will read this as stakeholder engagement assessment matrix. They didn't mention you have to use it only for a plan-driven project. You can use it in any model of project, but in a plan-driven project, plans are so long, so much of detail. So it is so easy enough to miss your stakeholders. So not to miss your stakeholders, you may note down all this information and you constantly keep an eye of who is currently in neutral or who is currently in supportive, where can I take them? And this can help us to not miss any key stakeholders. Now, in Agile project, this is a constantly in touch because every sprint is a small project for them. If you remember in the class, we would have learned something. What we have learned is a project goes by few parameters. We call it as plan, do, check. What is the other one?
Act.
Act or adjust, right? Plan, do, check, act. In a long-term project, this is happening like this. You do a plan, a long plan, then you do an action of execution, then you check it, then you act on or adjust on it. Now, in a long-term plan goes like this, whereas in a short-term project, you do multiple times plan, do, check, act. Again, you do plan, do, check, act. Now, what I'm saying here is, in a big project, you may prepare a sheet like this and you note it down and you follow with them so you don't miss the stakeholders. But here, what happens? Here also you can follow it. No one going to stop you. But it is a small initiative. Chances are maybe a product owner, maybe a scrum master, maybe the team themselves, they know whom they have to reach out at what timeline. So you don't need to keep a big register of people, not mandatory, but if you have it, well and good. Now coming back to the previous question. In this previous question, we saw something about stakeholder missed out or stakeholders not happy. Do you think if the team would have followed such a kind of a scale to assess, chances are we would have understood some of the misunderstanding between the stakeholders and the team. Some of the risk which could pop up, we could have understood. Is it a possibility there? Think so?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there is a possibility, right? But is it something only thing going to solve? Not necessary. I may even read some of the lessons learned. Where can I read the lessons learned as per the PMI? There is something called organizational process assets. If you remember, OPA. See, what do you mean by lessons learned, man? I may go and read if I'm implementing ERP package in oil and gas industry. It's very common in oil and gas industry. It's so tough to implement ERP because these companies are there in the market for more than 100 years. They are used with a certain format. They don't like to implement something just like that. Now I'll go with the Sai Priya. She said that if it was an incremental approach, it will be a different way. I would have changed my implementation strategy itself. Or this implementation strategy doesn't work or does work. So now I may even go and see the lessons learned, what to do. I'm not trying to solve all the problem in the world with this one question, but trying to see that when you read a question, how do you see that? Is it something the team could have done in a better way? Is this the stakeholder engagement strategy was missed out? Is it something they're not clear about the lessons learned? Is it something the expertise of the team is very less? When you see from different direction for a question like this, or maybe a couple of questions like this, next time when you see other question, your brain will not see only the answer. You will start seeing from where it is originating, why it is happening. And then if you start finding the answer. If you do that, yeah, it goes better. All right, good. But good thing today here is I found everyone made a right answer. Was it a happy day? Ah.